morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Fractured Fairy Tales at the Betsy Valley District Library. Good morning, Marvin Moose.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello?
Marvin.
Oh! Hi, Miss Betsy.
Hi, Marvin.
I have a big moose head. Oh.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
A magnificent moose head.
Wait, can you help me, Miss Betsy?
Yes. Right
There?
That
There?
looks good.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't want to block your head.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Well, are we ready for our Fractured Fairy Tales?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Well, first, I have a joke for you.
All right. What is your joke today?
Okay. I'll try to get this one right. Okay. What is beautiful, gray, and wears glass slippers?
I don't know, Marvin. What's beautiful gray and wears glass slippers?
Cinderelephant. You get it? Cinderelephant?
Yeah, I get it. That was a good one.
So, no. Wah, wah.
No.
Okay, well, let's get on with our fractured fairy tales. And, oh, big, okay. There we go. Okay. Antlers.
That's at the end.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, you want me to count you in?
Sure thing.
Okay. Oh, no, stage right. Stage left. Oh, that's stage right is actually stage left. Okay. And, okay. 1, and a 2, and away we go. Antlers.
All right. Our first story today is called Rapunzel and the Seven Dwarfs, as told by Willie Chaplin. And it's a Menard Moose tale, so.
Oh! There's a moose?
Yes. He's probably your cousin, right?
Menard? Yes, yeah. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, tell your story.
All right. Far away in the northern piney woods, there lives a storyteller named Maynard Moose. Every full moon in the forest, the animals come from near and far to hear him tell the old Mother Moose tales handed down so long ago. Young and old, big and small, fur and feather, the woodland creatures gather round and settle down on moss, branch, and log to listen. Did you ever hear a story that would go on and on and on, and when you would get to the end, you'd scratch your hairs and ask yourself, gee, what was that all about? And no matter how much you'd ask yourself, you still wouldn't know? Well, here is a story just like that. It's called Rapunzel and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, there was a girl named Punzel with long, long goldy hot hairdo. But nothing worked, so instead she locked Punzel in a tall, tall tower to keep her hairs from dragging on the ground. Every day the witch would come to the bottom of the tower and she would say, Punzel, Punzel, Goldie fair, Punzel, Punzel, let down the hair. And Punzel would let down her hair and the witch would climb up and give her something to eat. Well, one day there come along a handsome prince riding on a snow white moose, a noble beast. And the prince peek out from behind a tree and see how the witch call up to Rapunzel and how she climb up the hairs and then back down again. So when the witch go away, the prince decide he's going to do the same thing. The handsome prince, he tiptoed to the bottom of the tower and he said real quiet, 'cause he don't want the witch to know, and then turn him into a toad or something. Punzel, Punzel, Goldie fair, Punzel, Punzel, let down the hair. But he don't say the words loud enough for Punzel to hear him real good, and she thinks he said, let down a pear. So she flung down a big juicy pear right out the window. Splat! It hit the prince right on the shoe, and he get out his little monogram princely hanky, and he wiped off the shoe and he tried again. Punzel, Punzel, Goldie fair, Punzel, Punzel, let down the hair. But this time, Punzel sneezed just when he said hair, and she thought he said, let down your chair. So she flung a heavy chair right out the window. The chair hit the prince on the head, and he was knocked unconscionable. And all of his previous incarcerations fly by his eyeballs, and when he wake up again, he tried one more time. Oh no, that poor prince. Punzel, Punzel, Goldie fair, Punzel, Punzel, let down the hair. This time Punzel heard him real good. She let her hair all the way down, and the handsome prince started to climb up. But the prince, well, he was a little bit chubbified. He weighed 512 pounds. The handsome prince was so heavy, when he started to climb up the hairs, he flipped Punzel right out the window, and she goes sailing through the air and lands in the duck pond. Splash! Oh my. Well, about that time, the 7 dwarfs come by on their way home from digging gold in the mountain. There was Clumsy, Snoozy, Cheerful, Fearful, Hyper, Hungry, Griselda, Ambidextrous, and sometimes Bewildered. There were 8 or 9 7 dwarfs. So the 8 or 9 7 dwarfs see Punzel in their duck pond, and they do not want her to drownify herself. No, no. So they haul her out of the duck pond, and when Punzel tells them about how she'd been locked up in the tower, the dwarfies decide to hide her away so the witch can't find her. 'Cause they're very worried the witch will become extremely angrified when she finds out that Punzel had run away. So through the forest they go, all snaggled up in a bramble bush, and she's stuck fast and cannot move. Well, the only way to set her free is to cut her hairs off, and so they shave Punzel bald as a bowling ball. Well, just then the full moon started to rise, and the full moon shining on the top of Punzel's head make a little magic mirror there, like a shiny crystal ball. And the dwarfies all gather around the circle and they say, mirror, mirror on Punzel's head, is the witch alive or dead? And a picture of the witch floated into view, and she's extremely angrified, hopping up and down and smashing teacups and crockeries and kicking the cat. Oh no, you shouldn't do that. Always be nice to animals. Run away from me, will you, Punzel? She yelled. Well, I'll fix you. Quick, quick, say the dwarfies, and they lead Punzel away through the forest until they get to their little dwarfy hovel, and there they lock the door. Next morning, bright and early, off again go Clumsy, Snoozy, Cheerful, Fearful, Hyper, first rhinoceros, would you like a bite of one of my tasty watermelon? Oh boy, said Punzel. Watermelons is my favorite fruits. Yum! And she took a big bite of the watermelon and fell down dead. But don't worry, she wasn't really dead. She took such a big bite of the watermelon that it stuck in her throat and she didn't swallow it all the way. So instead of being dead, she just fell into an endless poison watermelon sleep. Well, when the dwarfies come back from digging gold in the mountain and find Punzel unconscionable in an endless sleep, they didn't know what to do. Everybody's sad, even cheerful. But pretty soon the dwarfies get an idea. They put her in a big glass box and charged all the animals 25 cents to come and see her. All the forest animals line up to have a look. See sleeping Punzel, just 25 cents. Well, the Sleeping Punzel Museum is a big success. The dwarfies don't have to dig for gold no more. Clumsy, snoozy, cheerful, fearful, hyper, hungry, Griselda, and ambidextrous, and sometimes bewildered, live on easy street. But one day, who should come along once more but the handsome prince riding on the snow-white moose. And the moose didn't look where it was going, and it tripped over the glass case and smashed it to smithereens. Punzel woke up and she coughed out the piece of watermelon, and when she saw the noble, kindly, handsome moose leaning over her, she gave him a big kiss on the nose. "My hero," said Punzel, and the moose right off, and she and the moose ride off into the sunrise, and they lived happily for never afterwards.
Yee-haw!
As for the handsome prince, he go marry the witch, and they live in a tall, tall tower, happily never afterwards. And as for the dwarfies, they go back to digging gold in the mountain. Clumsy, snoozy, cheerful, fearful, hyper, hungry, Griselda, ambidextrous, and sometimes bewildered, for never afterwards. And the moral of the story is, if you have long, long, goldy hair that drag out from behind you all along the ground, then you should always, the moral of the story is, if you get flipped out of the window and land in a duck pond, you should always remember to
Quack.
You should always, let's see. Well, the moral of the story is, there isn't a moral to some stories at all.
Well,
The end.
Mary, it's just a funny story.
It was a very, very silly story.
And I love the part about Maynard Moose.
Of course.
Antlers.
Antlers.
Antlers. Moose's rock. Oh, Moose rock.
There you go.
Yee-haw! Well, Miss Betsy, I think it's time for Miss Michelle to read her story. What do you think?
I think so too.
Okay. Should we call her?
Yes, we should.
She's always disappearing, you know. Okay.
All right.
Miss Michelle!
Michelle! Story time!
Miss Michelle!
Michelle!
Oh. Hi, Marvin. How are you? Oh! You keep scaring me. Well, are you ready to read your story now? Yes, I am. Okay. Well, I'm going to go see what the squirrels are up to. Okay. I'll be right there. Okay. Well, you want me to count you in? Sure. All right. Okay. Are you ready? Yes. And a 1, and a 2, action! Yeehaw!
Well, hello boys and girls. We're going to read one of my favorite stories. It's The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munch, and the art is by Michael Martychenko. The Paper Bag Princess. Excuse me. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and held expensive princess clothes. And she had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Excuse me. Unfortunately, a dragon came and smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and he carried off Prince Ronald. Well, Elizabeth decided to chase that dragon and get Ronald back. And she looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that wasn't burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. And she took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. And the dragon stuck his nose out the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today, and I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." And he slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. And the dragon stuck his nose out the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I've already eaten a whole castle today, and I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Well, yes," said the dragon, kind of bragging. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge deep breath, and he breathed out so much fire that he built up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burned up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath, but this time So Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." And the dragon didn't move at all. And she lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" And the dragon was so tired he didn't even move. So Elizabeth walked right over to the dragon and opened the door to the cave. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. And he looked at her and he said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you're wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you're dressed like a real princess." So you know what Elizabeth did? She said, because Ronald wasn't being very nice, "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty and your hair's very neat, but you look like a real prince, but you are a bum," because he wasn't being very nice at all. And you know what? They didn't get married after all, and Elizabeth had many adventures and lived happily ever after. And that is the end. And now I think we're going to have a second story with Miss Betsy, and I will go try to find Marvin T. I think.
Hi again, boys and girls. Our second story is The Three Little Pigs, and this one is a unique take on this story. It's written by Marvin T, and it's a STEM story.
STEM, science, technology, electronics, and mathematics. Go STEM.
So, really, we'll hear a classic story with a new twist. Welcome to my lab. I'm Professor Ever After, and I really like science, technology, engineering, and math. That's STEM. The Three Little Pigs is holding up the book. Sorry about that. I also love this story, but some parts just don't make sense. Maybe I can make them work using STEM. So, once upon a STEM, three little pigs lived with their mother in a deep, dark woods. You are all grown up now, said their mother. It's time for you to build homes of your own. Deep, dark woods. Their mother gave them each 100 gold coins to buy what they needed to build their homes. Make sure your homes are safe and strong because the big bad wolf likes to eat little pigs. Never let him in.
I'm a chinny chin chin.
The three little pigs headed out. First they came across the farmer selling straw. The first little pig asked the farmer if he could buy some. How much would it cost to buy enough straw to build a house? The farmer sold the first little pig enough straw to build a small house. It cost 40 coins. I still have a lot of coins. Do the math. If the first little pig had 100 coins and he spent 40, how many coins did he have left? That's a good math test for you. You know the answer. The little pig built his straw house. It wasn't very big or strong, but the pig was happy that he had saved so much money. But one day, the big bad wolf came knocking on the little pig's straw door. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. But I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And the big bad wolf huffed and puffed and, I like his bib, it says yum yum yum. And he blew the house down and off the little piggy ran. He blew the house down with just his lungs? He wouldn't have been able to do that if the pig had built it properly. With a little bit of engineering know-how, this little pig could have built a strong house from straw bales. He could have made bales of hay and just stacking the individual straw. If the bales are tightly packed and stacked like bricks and covered with clay, you can build a very strong house. Did you know that?
Cool.
After blowing the house down, the big bad wolf tried to catch the little pig, but he was out of breath from all that blowing. Run, little pig, run! Now, the wolf could have caught the little pig if he had done more exercising. Here's a treadmill, and these are your lungs. They help you breathe. The more you exercise, the stronger your lungs will become, so you won't run out of breath as easily. The second little pig met a woman selling sticks. He asked if he could buy enough to build a house. That will be 60 coins, please. Do the math. If the pig had 100 coins to start with and he spent 60 coins on the sticks, how many does he have left? So the little pig... Yes, Marvin?
40?
Yes.
Wow, I got it right.
So the little pig built his house of sticks. It was sturdier than his brother's house, but he still saved some money. But one day the big bad wolf came knocking on the door. Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. But I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. And the little piggy ran off. Are we supposed to believe that the wolf could blow down a house made out of sticks? We're going to need some help from technology to make this a little more believable. Let's see what we can use. With the kind of a big fan used in wind tunnels, the big bad wolf would be able to make a stronger, longer lasting wind. And he wouldn't be tired from all that blowing, and he might be able to catch the pig in time. He has a wind tunnel fan. This time the big or explosives. A wrecking ball is a heavy metal ball swung on a chain that knocks down big buildings. Instead, the wolf decided to climb down the chimney and dropped straight into the little pig's cooking pot and was made into a tasty wolf stew. That was one silly wolf. If he had learned his stem, he could have caught all three of those little pigs. And that is the end of the three little pigs stem story.
Wow, that was a really cool, funny story. But it was really cool that it included STEM, science, and technology, and engineering, and mathematics. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Well, Miss Betsy, we're going to pause for just a moment, and we wanted to remind, technical difficulties. Okay, well, I don't want to block your head, but, okay. Well, anyway, we're going to pause for just a minute, and we wanted to remind everybody that we have some wonderful STEM kits that are really cool here at the library, and we're just going to show you a couple of them, and they're free to check out. And one of the first ones is, can you tell us about it, Miss Betsy?
It's snap circuits. This is really cool because it has lots of project ideas, and you can hook up all these electrodes, and you can spin a fan, and I believe you can, I believe there's a light up or a sound system with this. So
That's
come
really
check this
cool.
out. This is really cool.
Absolutely. And another one, we have STEM kits from young preschoolers all the way up to high school level, and we even have some cool family games for you to play. But Miss Betsy's going to show us another one. I think these are the Kiva planks.
Yes, and it's called Contraptions, and there's a book full of ideas of different ways you can stack these blocks, and it even comes with a couple of Kiva balls that you can roll along these contraptions when you're done.
You can make a maze. Isn't that really cool?
Yes, definitely a great way to build your engineering skills.
Absolutely. STEM. Yee-haw! Thank you, Miss Betsy. Just remember, you got to come and check them out. Okay. Okay. Well, I think Miss Michelle's going to read her last story. Are you here, Miss Michelle? Yes, I'm right here. Wow. We don't have to go looking for you. That's really good. You're right on time. Well, I'm trying to get better about that, Marvin. Okay. Well, you're going to read your story, and then Miss Betsy is going to tell us about our cool flying dragon craft you can come pick up here at the library. Okay, are you ready, Miss Michelle? Yes. Okay. I'm ready for my close-up. Okay. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. And a 1, and a 2, and away we go. Antlers.
Well, hello, boys and girls. Well, we're going to read this is a little funny story, and it's a different take on the Muffin Man, or in the Gingerbread Man story, but this is once upon a time, it was the Stinky Cheese Man. So, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little old woman and a little old man who lived together in a little old house, and they were lonely. So the little old lady decided to make a man out of stinky cheese. Phew! So she gave him a piece of bacon for a mouth and 2 olives for eyes and put him in the oven to cook. When she opened the oven to see if he was done, the smell knocked her back. Phew! Phew! What is that terrible smell? She cried. The stinky cheese man hopped out of the oven and ran out the door calling, "Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the stinky cheese man." Well, the little old lady and the little old man sniffed the air. "Oh, you," said the little old man. "I'm not really all that lonely," said the little old lady. So they didn't chase the stinky cheese man. And the stinky cheese man ran and ran until he met a cow eating grass in a field. "Whoa! What's that awful smell?" "Moo!" said the cow. Well, the stinky cheese man said, "I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the stinky cheese man." Well, the cow gave another sniff and said, "Oh, I'll bet you give someone 2 or 3 stomach aches. I think I'll just eat weeds." So the cow didn't chase the stinky cheese man either. Isn't it when she first sniffed? It's like, "Pee-you." And so the stinky cheese man ran and ran until he met some kids playing outside school. "Gross! Pee-you!" and said the little girl. "What is that nasty smell?" "I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man and a cow, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me, I'm the stinky cheese man." Well, a little boy looked up and sniffed the air and said, "If we catch him, our teacher will probably make us eat him. Let's get out of here." So the kids didn't chase the stinky man either. And see how bad she sounds like. Well, by and by, the stinky cheese man came to a river with no bridge. "How will I ever cross this river? It's too big to jump, and if I try to swim across, I'll probably fall apart," said you know who. Just then, Sly Fox, who shows up in a lot of the stories like these, poked his head out of the bushes. "Why, just hop on my back and I'll carry you across, Stinky Cheese Man." "How do I know you won't eat me?" "Trust me," said the fox. So the Stinky Cheese Man hopped on the fox's back, and the fox swam to the middle of the river and said, "Oh man, you! What is that? What is that awful smell?" And the fox coughed, you! And the poor Stinky Cheese Man flew off his back, and where he fell apart, and he kind of got all discombobulated there, and that's the end. And that's the end of the Stinky Cheese Man. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man.
You can glue your wings on first.
Yeah, make sure they're
Before
dry.
you fold it, make sure it's dry.
Because Miss Michelle tried to glue one, and she didn't wait until the glue was dry, and the wings fell off.
And then fold it back down on those other two lines, and eventually it will look like this.
Oh, flying dragon, cool.
And this is where you will need where the paper clip comes in handy, because if you try to fly them like this, they're a little heavier through the wing area, so they're gonna not fly very well. So you take the paper clip and you just put it onto the end of the nose, and that'll give it just enough weight for it to fly nice and smooth.
Ha ha! Oh, oh, oh! That surprised me. Well, oh, Miss Betsy,
Also,
Miss Betsy,
yes.
we need to name their paper dragon. How about we call him Ralph?
That sounds like a great name for a dragon.
Okay.
And don't forget, after you get it glued together and and after you get it folded, to give them some bright colors, because dragons are very colorful creatures. You can use markers or crayons. They make glitter glue. That might actually weigh it down a little bit, but it's always good to have a little weight on these guys anyways. But come down to the library and pick up your craft of the week.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed our story hour.
And you can make your very own special flying up and away, my beautiful, beautiful flying dragon. Craft.
Named Ralph.
Name Ralph. Or you can name your dragon any name you want. But okay, here, this way. Okay, I'm trying not to block your head. Well, that concludes our fractured fairy tale. Oh, sorry, story hour. And next week we'll have another wonderful story hour, and you'll have to tune in, and you will be able to watch all our story hours on our YouTube channel. Oh, it's like I'm falling. There, is that better? Okay. Well, we'll do the antler dance and say goodbye. And oh, I got one more joke for you, Miss Betsy.
Oh, sure, okay.
Do you know what is brown and has 12 paws?
What's brown and has 12 paws?
The 3 bears.
Oh,
Get it?
okay.
From Goldilocks?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Use mathematics to figure that out.
Yes.
3 bears, 4 legs equals 12 paws.
I use STEM, mathematics. It's like, the bears. The bears. Anyway, well, we'll do our dance,
Sure.
and you wave your jazz antlers, and we'll say goodbye. Oh, goodbye. Okay, ready?
All right.
No, oh, this way. No. Antlers. No. Antlers. And antlers. Jazz antlers. Antlers. Okay. And
Five
see you,
boys and girls.
5 boys and girls. And see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
After a while, crocodile. Goodbye, boys and girls. Okay, Miss Michelle? Yes. Is it? Am I here? Yes, you're right there. You gotta push the button. Okay. Are you gonna push the button? Yeah. I'm right here. Okay. Oh, you gotta push the button. Goodbye.
Five boys and girls.
Bye.